Yeah, that is the scary part. Expectations are always scary, but it's way better when there's no expectations. And when you have expectations and you don't meet them, that's when the pain kicks in, right? So in Sound of Freedom, there was no expectations. So it was a massive surprise.
In America, the greatest nation on earth, rats have it better than the children of 5 Points.
It's not safe. Not for you. Be careful. This place will eat you alive.
Doctors tell me 5 years.
5 would be a miracle.
In that case, I should get to work.
Sounds good. Hey, it's Jim Alexander with Real Talker. Alejandro, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Good to talk to you. Been a fan of your work. I want to start off, I don't want to put pressure here, but Sound of Freedom was such a big hit for you. How do you sort of navigate maybe the new expectations that, your movies to garner such a groundswell of support with a movie like Cabrini, which is different, than Sound of Freedom, but has certain similar messages too. How do you sort of navigate the success into your future work?
Yeah, that is the scary part. Expectations are always scary, but it's way better when there's no expectations. And when you have expectations and you don't meet them, that's when the pain kicks in, right? So in Sound of Freedom, there was no expectations. So it was a massive surprise. So in here, yes, naturally there's expectations and I just hope that it's a beautiful story, it's a powerful story, and I hope that that the movie gets an opportunity. I just think if the film gets a shot for audiences to see it, and that's why it's so important. It's opening weekend is the more important for independent films like this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to especially have that message. The word of mouth is what they say.
Yeah.
To carry it through. It's
That would
interesting.
be great. It would be amazing if Cabrini does $1 more than Sound of Freedom, then that's the biggest expectation.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
you know,
I've noticed in your work, it seems that you're drawn to these real people who are sort of protectors. And the same thing, Cabrini, Jim Caviezel's character in Sound of Freedom, protector of children and people who look out. These sort of heroes, real life superheroes in a way, and people who put their lives and everything on the line to make a difference. Has that been an interest of yours in finding these scripts and of these stories of these real people? And it seems like that's been the theme, sir, of your work.
yeah, I think it's been unconsciously. I don't think it's been consciously, but I looking back, there is that chain that it's undeniable, and I'm just starting to look back, and it's like, how much decisions do we know unconsciously that then look back, there is a pattern, and there is in many ways there is a meaning to it. Yeah. So, or a deeper meaning, better say. So yeah, I am definitely, I think, just on that fight of attempting to be the best version of oneself. And maybe when I look at people that fight really hard to achieve that, it's definitely, I'm attracted to those stories. And yeah, the life of Mother Cabrini, she lived a very heroic life, and she happened to be wearing a cape, so it matches perfectly. So I'm just very honored that I had the opportunity, and I was invited to meet her, and through her story, obviously, not in real life, but
in that way. But
I felt like you feel you get to know somebody deeply when you dive into their lives and create and start putting a visual to an image to their essence.
What did you learn on this project? Maybe even in terms of the story or even working on it, even behind the scenes, there's something you took away from working on this whole production that you might carry on in your own personal life or your professional life going forward?
I mean, I took away many things, but one of the things that this movie kind of helped me to bring into the foreground was the power of mortality. Knowing that you have a few years to live can actually also be powerful. And if we talk more about, our death, our mortality, what does that mean? Will that give more meaning to our lives? And, her life, she was facing her mortality, but her dreams were getting bigger and bigger. Her mission was getting bigger and bigger. So there was a juxtaposition in there. It's knowing that the doctors will be telling her, you have 2 years to live, 3 years to live. But her dreams were like projects that will take maybe 20 years to make. So that in itself, really, really challenged me. He continues to challenge me in many ways. Also, one of the things is a tiny little thing, but it exposed how much I of a complainer I was. Looking at her life and is like, wow, she had it really hard, and she just kept going and kept fighting, and I don't even think she had time to complain.
No, I think that's a message for everyone to look in their own lives. Things could be tougher than they are. But great job. Continue doing great work. Been a fan of your work and always bringing something interesting and sharing real human superheroes.
Well, thank you. And please tell everybody, opening weekend, March 8th.
That's right. Thank you so much, Alejandro.
Thank you.
Cabrini.